Hey, welcome back to the Fun Astrology Podcast for Tuesday, December 10th. Thomas Miller back with you. Thanks for joining us. If you're just getting up and preparing for the day, I hope it's a great one for you wherever you are and whatever you're doing. You know, I'm looking at the astrological chart, and I'm just feeling like, wow, as it's starting to come together. We are looking at a piece of history. If you have not seen a chart, go on one of the services like astro-seek.com is a good one. I saw an acknowledgement for the guy that runs that in Twitter not long ago, and they were just saying, hey, support the guy. He's running a good site. That's a great one, astro.com, of course. But wherever you're looking, just try to look at the chart of right now. It is literally, and we'll have time to do this, especially as the Sun and Mercury move into Capricorn. But as that stellium has formed, it's like, wow, we are really looking at a piece of history. Because this kind of thing has not been on an astrological chart anywhere in the world. It's like nobody, I don't care who you are, has seen this chart since the 1500s. So it really is just this amazing congregation of planets. And the energy associated with it is equally amazing. I sat with a good friend of mine over the weekend, and my jaw literally dropped to the floor as I was listening to the stories of the Saturn return that was taking place in this person's life. Saturn return, number one, he's 59, and number two, Saturn-Pluto, just shaking to the core. And all I could do is just marvel at the wonder of astrology because you look at the chart and it's all there. So we are looking with respect at this incredible energy, and then at the same time we're looking at it as that this energy for those who are conscious and those who follow it are going to remove so many shackles, and such great things are going to open up. It's going to be profound. It's going to be so incredible. The other side of this is going to be so amazing. And yeah, look, historically, there were wars, there were plagues, there were resistances, there was bloodshed. And I'm not saying that that's in today's cards by any means. And yet, we're seeing the battles. The universe is causing the shakeup, and where there is resistance, there are battles, there are skirmishes. And that can just be our own resistance to let something go that the universe is trying to pry out of our hands gracefully. It's old ways that don't work anymore. It's the ultimate version of clearing out the closets. And all of that stack, as you look at a chart, is sitting right there in the sign of Capricorn. Wow. Okay, let me just throw something else out. This is a little aside. So we've talked about this election astrology, right? That when to look at the chart and see when the best time to do stuff is. So I'm just looking at one as I'm searching the chart this morning that kind of jumped out at me. And I thought, we better mention that just for those of you who want to follow this. So that big stack of energy in Capricorn, that Capricorn stellium, is in the 12th house from 11:15 a.m. until 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That also, because Mars is in Scorpio, puts Mars in the 10th house during that same time. And that's not a good position for Mars in a daytime chart if you're following electional astrology. Now, look, are you saying, Thomas, take a long siesta from 11:15 to 12:45? If you can, not answer your emails. And you know what? Things may hit you. Interesting that was in that position because I got this. I'm kind of in believe me, me too, am experiencing Saturn-Pluto. And there's something that's going on in my world that is shaking it to the core. And I got an email on that last week at 12:02 p.m. Now, I'm an hour behind the times I just gave you, so that would have put me out of that time block by about 15 minutes. But it's just interesting that came in at that, the window, kind of that window of time. And there's a cusp on both sides of that. It's not exact. So if you want to just play with this. Now, the other little factor that I'll throw in is there's a moon wobble going on again. Do you remember that? We talked about it back in October. I think the occurrence date is like 87 days, every 87 days. It's when the moon is at either a conjunct or opposition or a 90-degree angle to the nodes of the moon. And it happens for 3 weeks before the exact date of the aspect and for 7 days after the exact date of the aspect. So going on right now is the conjunction, and it peaks December 27th. So we entered that a couple of days ago. Now, is that significant? Well, during the last moon wobble, within the first week or 10 days of it, Nancy Pelosi announced the impeachment investigation against President Trump. Now, my position is just to watch and see what happens, but between now and December 27th is the waning period. We'll be in the waxing period after that. So let's just see. Let's watch together, okay? But again, in your elections, if you want to follow that, then you would be on a boat well, no, you wouldn't even do that because the boat might capsize. It's supposed to be a wonky period, but you would be deflecting things during this time. So there's a little bit of electional astrology. Now, as far as what the chart looks like today, here's why I didn't go into much of it. The moon has moved into Gemini, moved in this morning. But the thing about today's chart is literally every planet is aspected to something. And it is a complicated web. It looks like the diagram of an international telecommunications network in the chart right now. And, even when we're doing these readings and everything, and somebody has aspects that are so intense like that, I hit the high spots, I hit the relevant spots to the questions, and then and then I just kind of say, let's work through the rest because it will leave your eyes glossed over. But there's a really cool, favorable trine, easy aspect between Uranus and Jupiter and the South Node up in Capricorn. Uranus is in Taurus. So what that says to me is just that there is this, amidst all of this stuff, this shakeup, this Saturn-Pluto that's happening on the other side of the sign of Capricorn, it's almost like the universe in a humorous way is saying, watch for me to just surprise you with something that might be a little nice surprise. Did your parents ever tell you, kids, this is going to be a little bit of a lean Christmas? It's like you might not get 2,500 gifts this year, but then they give you one really good one. And you were like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. That might be an analogy we can think of during the holidays. All right, so keep your eyes out for a little nice surprise from the universe today is what I would say on that. Have a great one. We'll see you on Hump Day tomorrow. Have a good December 10th. Sending you my love. Bye-bye.